Hey guys, welcome to Rants. Today we have a season 1 finale of the Ricky Gervais Show. We have episode 13, and yes, I have a little trouble with my number 3 and my 13, and the TH in English is so frustrating to me. But yeah, we have the season finale, so let's go. This one is called Freaks. I don't know what to expect. Let's go.
Questions for Carl, just to sort of try and tap into his brain, see what's going on there.
Yeah.
The questionnaire that is often featured at the end of the TV programme Inside the Actor's Studio. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Interesting question.
Is that how it works?
Oh man.
No, what do you mean? What's the question?
Well, I don't know. You hear so many other things that you have to go through other gates. I can't imagine him being on the door, is what I'm saying. If he owns a place, what's he doing there? He could put anyone on it.
It's St. Peter, isn't it, who's normally minding the gates, famously.
Right, so it's him asking me.
Okay, well, let's say it's St. Peter.
No. You go through the gate. Peter goes, "Oh, you're expected. He's got an appointment. We're going through the garden. Go through a few doors. Go up top floor. Right, past the executive washroom into his big office. Okay, that overlooks the universe."
So what?
So you've gone in to see God. It's an audience with God. You've died. You've gone to heaven. And what would you like God to say to you at that point?
Probably just say, you've done well and that in your life. You never did anybody any harm. So, welcome to heaven. Any
Fair
problems,
enough.
give us a shout. Here's a little layout of like a little map. It's kind of like.
I love this. This is a great answer. And my favourite one is, "You never did anyone any harm." That's great. That's a brilliant thing for God to say.
Yeah.
So hang on, he's giving you a little
So
map.
he's got a little map of the area.
Map,
It's
and
big.
he'll sort of say, "This is where you go for this. This is where you go for that."
Okay.
I'd probably ask him about the ghost situation. I'd say, "Am I now a ghost then, or is this just like another planet that I've come onto?"
Right.
I don't know if he'd answer that. I don't know if he'd be sort of a bit,
Bit cagey.
yeah, a little bit like, "Well, I don't want to panic you and stuff." I'd say, right, is it right that I can see past family and that? Because to be honest, I'd probably prefer to stay away.
He doesn't even want to.
No, but because the thing is, if
that's
you've done
amazing.
I've done all that in this life, so it's about moving on to another life and meeting different people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? It's just
Yeah.
like the same all over again, but everywhere's white. I mean, I don't know if it is like
Do you
that.
think God would
Interesting
like this
point.
podcast?
Well, I suppose it just kills half an hour, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but time's not a problem for him, is it?
Yeah, it is, because he lives for ages, so he needs loads of filler. I bet he's, doing stuff that he's just like, I'm not really into this, but it's something to do, isn't it?
Sudoku and stuff.
I enjoy
I
that
think
game.
there'll be just as many problems up there as there is here, because at least people are leaving here. Whereas up there, that's the thing that I'd be worried about the most.
Everyone's
actually,
getting
it's
there.
really crowded. Because it's years and years of dead people, isn't it? London does me head in. Up there, it's going to be well busier than that.
A lot busier. Interesting point.
What about teenagers? And do you feel that life was better in, say, the 1950s?
I don't know, I wasn't around. So
But
it's-
you understand what it was like in those days.
I believe it
You've
was.
seen happy days.
I don't know, people always say, don't they? Old people always say, it's a better life in the 50s. And it's like, yeah, it was for them. Of course it was for them. They're old now. Being old isn't great, is it? So you're just happy with your lot. I suppose I was happier starting about 1984.
Quite a specific year.
Why?
It
Why
was
was that?
just I was free and happy. Do you know what I mean?
How old were you?
I don't know.
He's just counting on his fingers now.
12.
Right, okay.
And it
Okay.
was just good.
So the happiest days of your life were between the age of 12 and 13?
Yeah, it was good. I had the world ahead of me.
Little did you know your hair was going to fall out and you were going to whinge every minute of the day.
I had my bike. I like messing about my bike. You had your mates. I had a pet magpie.
So you were probably the teenager that you eventually hate?
Probably.
Were you a good lad, law-abiding?
I wasn't bad. I just sort of,
It was free.
potted about. I mean, when people talk about what was on the telly back then, I don't have that much memory of it because I was always out. I was always playing out.
That's
What were you
good.
doing when you were out?
Just playing about, just like on a bike or...
Just riding in a circle endlessly
Tell
through
ya,
blizzards,
I loved it.
rain, sleet,
Loved it.
hail.
I never seemed to be in. I was always... When everyone always goes, where were you when Band Aid was happening? I was always out on my bike. And everything was
Like
like...
you and McGregor?
a memory is always sort of like coming in for some orange.
I wish I could have been there.
Seeing
That
Princess Diana was
concert.
getting married, and my mum says, "Have you seen this?" And I'm going, "Oh, I'm going out on my bike." I was always doing that. The only time I was in the house.
This is why you don't know anything, because you never stopped.
Yeah, but this is what being a kid's about. That's what I mean.
It wasn't called Band-Aid.
It's as though you
Of course.
you raced by on a bike. It's almost like, every piece of information you have.
Your hair blowing in the wind. Carl, your hair will blow out one day. Oh, don't talk stupid, ma'am.
It's easy. So yeah, 12 to 13 was good.
But
That was the best
And it was
years
all
for
downhill
Carl.
from then, was it?
13 is your teenager then, aren't you? Life got tough.
Yeah. How did it get tough?
Just straight away when I was 13, my mum was like, "Oh, it's your 13th birthday, you're a teenager now."
Right.
And she gave us a quid to go and get a cake to celebrate it. Went to the supermarket, got a cake, and I just thought, I don't like the look of this. Don't like the look of the way the future is here.
On his 13th birthday.
Well, you were buying a cake. What did you see at the supermarket?
It was kind of like, I don't know, I suddenly felt grown up. And I didn't like it.
But I think you were always about 58. Really, in your outlook.
Well, yeah, my mum always said I was old. She said I was an old baby. She said I could frown before I could walk. So I always had a bit of a worry look on my face. Didn't say much, just always listened. My eyes moved about more than I did. Just sat there looking around, looking stressed.
My eyes moved about more than I did. Oh,
It's like-
yeah, couldn't walk. Well, I can't walk, but I'll try and get a bit of movement in my face. It's a workout, a baby workout. Oh, babies, well, if you can't walk, what about your face? Let your face do the walking.
It sounds like that horror film. It sounds like Pilkington's Baby.
Yeah.
Just you lying there in your cot.
I didn't like all the stuff that's set up for you. Like, my mum tried to send me to, like, a nursery. I said, no, I'm not having this.
Just like that.
I said well,
Just
when I'm
making
older, when I'm
decisions
older and
back
I've gotta
then.
go, I'll go, but let's leave out this bit. And she said, all right. She was,
I love the fact he could reason with her. I love him. He's 3 years old with a pipe. She's going, you go to the nurse. She goes, I think not, Mum.
I mean, kids don't play out, do they? Kids, parents are scared to let the kids play out, and that's why the streets are dangerous now, because no one's playing out on the streets. Whereas when I was a kid, everyone was out on the streets. The streets were safer because there was more people knocking about.
Right.
Let the kids play out.
It must be like a constant, like a Larry painting. His front garden. Do you know what I mean? Just loads
There
of
was
people
stuff
just
going-
walking
There was never any
around.
problems. I was sort of taken away by some fella.
What?
Who,
Hang on a
What?
minute.
Whoa,
no,
whoa.
I was playing about in the garden.
Yeah.
But my dad's mate Tony,
Yeah.
he did tiling with him. He drove past, and he saw me looking a bit fed up, so he just leant over, picked me up, took me to the pub. Now the thing is, there wasn't panic. People weren't going, "Oh God, where's Carl gone?"
He's out.
Just.
He was
Stay
out.
in the pub. He's 4 years old, yeah. Well, he's only having a...
He's down the pub with Tony, probably playing darts.
I was about 3 or 4.
Sorry, so some bloke drives by who happens to be a friend of your dad's, thinks that baby looks grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm taking him down to
But
the pub.
that's what it was
Tony,
like.
you bringing a baby to the pub?
Yeah.
I might do. Yeah, we'll bring in ours. All right, see you later, mate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whereas now they go, the baby's gone. There's a big full-on panic going
Yeah,
on.
but I think it says more about your parents that they didn't do that. They looked out in the back garden, you were gone. Some bloke's driving off in a van. They're just going, oh, well,
We rode down the pub.
doesn't Princess Diana look lovely? This is absurd. So what happened when you got down the pub?
I just was there for a bit, and then
For a bit, just had a game of pool.
then my dad came in. It was like, oh, there you are.
Oh, there you are! I love that! Where's my baby? I'm just going to have a quick pint. Oh, there you are. All right, mate.
So, yeah, I think things were better back then.
Well, it's that
Okay.
time again.
It's Carl's diary.
Oh, what's he written today?
Okay.
Told
What's gonna
Suzanne
happen
that I
in
had
the
read
diary
that we
today?
will have spoken to aliens by the year 2025. Ricky once told me that if a lion could speak English, it still couldn't.
Okay. Considering how things are going right now, I wouldn't be surprised that we were talking to aliens in the near future. Though, maybe they just won't visit because we're not intelligent enough. That's a whole nother topic. Never mind. Let's keep it going.
Have a good chat with us because its life is different to ours. If that's true, we've got no chance with an alien. I'd be worried that an alien could read my mind. I had that problem once years ago when I worked in a studio making cassettes. Some mind-reading woman was having some cassettes made. She waited while I did them. She had a small dog. I knew she was trying to read my mind, so I just thought about the dog. I thought that would confuse her, because she wouldn't understand why I was thinking about her dog.
That's amazing.
So, firstly, how did you know she was a mind-reading woman?
Everybody who came in having cassettes done, you'd find out about what the job is. So, you know, if it's a band or whatever, it might be a police station needing blank cassettes to interview people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she had them to sort of use during a thing where they do mind reading and stuff. So
Right.
you get a
recording of
it.
Yep.
And she was just there and she was staring at me like that, just looking over. And the dog was sort of looking worried, and they pick up vibes, don't
No.
they? They do.
And why was
Were they looking? I'm not being funny. Were they looking at the roundness of your head? Do you
They
think?
were just looking at me, and I was sort of panicking a bit. And the more that I was thinking she's reading my mind, I was thinking she knows that I know that she's reading my mind. So I just stopped thinking about her reading my mind. Thought about the dog
What were you thinking about the dog?
running about on the beach.
He remembers what he was thinking.
No, just so she thought, oh, hang on a minute, it's not his mind, it's the dog's mind I'm picking up.
Oh, so you thought she'd go? Oh no, I'm getting it all tangled up. I've got a cross line here.
I met up with my
What
mate
the
Laurie. He said he was in a pub at the weekend and saw a bloke whose hands were on the wrong arms.
No! What do you mean?
Well, he had his left hand on his right arm and the right hand on the left arm. I don't think this would be a problem if he's been like that from an early age. When I was in Ripley's in LA, I saw a bloke whose head was on back to front.
That's more annoying, isn't it, than your hands? Isn't it?
Now then, would you walk? How would you walk? Would you be walking backwards, Carl, so that you could walk? So you're basically walking forwards.
I reckon I'd
or
walk
would-
sideways so nobody would sort of tell the difference. It just looked like...
Oh,
Oh God!
he thought about it.
He's thought it through. Ah. Got home and read the magazine. There was a story about a baby that was born that looked like a frog. What magazine's this?
that made the news. That was in a proper newspaper in the end.
It didn't really have a neck or top half of its head. It would look all right if it always wore a scarf and a hat. The world would be a more interesting place if there were loads of different types of humans like there are creatures. Then some people would be good at certain jobs. Spider people, ant people, builders, cockroach people, dustbin men.
Good idea, isn't it?
That's incredible.
Cockroach men, spider men, what are you talking about?
Look at some insects, right?
Yeah.
They don't have machinery, yet they're getting by, aren't they? They have their lives like we do. They get up, they wander about, they collect food, they tidy up, they fix stuff, they make their own house. We can't do any of that. So what I'm saying is, why aren't we using them? Why are these cockroaches with all these powers and stuff
Powers.
going about?
It's all these
How
powers.
could we use them? How could we harness
Just
them?
told you, dustbin men. Or whatever that's
No,
called.
you said that if they were also men, if they were cockroach men, we could use them.
You've left a big bit out, but when that 1 inch cockroach becomes a 6 foot bloke wearing a jacket.
It's just that we always use insects for like a bit of fun. You see flea circuses and all that, which is all very well, but I don't think it's getting the most out of them.
Woke up at 9:55 a.m.
Yeah.
As soon as I woke up, I looked.
I love the way in which they just ignore that. Like, we're not gonna talk about this anymore. We're not gonna acknowledge that you even mentioned that. Let's keep it going.
Looked at Suzanne and she looked at me. I said, "Did I tell you about the immune system?" Suzanne started laughing. I said, "It's amazing." She said, "Not now." Springing into action, he zips up, his eyes are like... Did I tell you about the immune system? Oh, shut up, Carl. Put the kettle on.
God! Oh, fucking hell! Carl, let's give him a list. Top 5 something. What are you interested in? Are you interested in news, sport, TV, cars, movies, style?
I mean, I'm into weird stuff, but it seems a bit tight to stick them in a list.
What, like what?
Well, like, sort of freaky people and that. I've got that freak book. But I don't know if they'd be happy if I call one of them and said, "Good news, you're at number 1.
Freaky
You've got
people.
4 legs or whatever." I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, then this is the Carl Pilkington top 5 freaks in a number 5.
Probably something not too good at number 5, but it's still interesting.
Okay, like what?
Who's that? What's
Lighthouse
What's
Man?
Lighthouse Man?
It's a fella with a hole in his head. And he, what he does, rather than moan about it, sticks a candle in it.
Shut up. What are you talking about?
Sticks a candle.
What are you talking about? Where is the
I
hole?
bet he didn't call himself Lighthouse Man, did he?
Well, I don't know. It's just what he got nicknamed because he had this
Lighthouse
hole.
Man.
Doctors were like, "There's nothing we can do. Can't fill it." Thought, what can I do with it? And it was of the days when there was no electric and that. You had to walk about with a candle.
Okay.
Just like, hang on a minute. I can put a candle holder here. Stuck a candle
Hang
in
on
it
a
and he
minute.
just got nicknamed the Lighthouse Man. So again, it's not that amazing, but I like the way he was sort of energy efficient.
So was it in his forehead?
No, on the very top of his head.
That's perfect. You don't want it in the forehead, Steve. You'd have to walk back with
That'd
your
be
neck
ridiculous.
cricked.
So he was like a kind of human jack-o'-lantern.
He's a Lighthouse Man. What
Basically.
what,
Sorry,
what,
mate.
what
Yeah, I
better
forgot
description
about
do you
that.
need than the Lighthouse Man?
So yeah, he's probably at number 5.
Wow, that's at number 5, Steve.
Number 4.
What about pig-faced woman of Manchester Square?
Again, you're getting what it says in the tin there, aren't you?
Right.
And it's just this woman who had a face like a pig. And the rumour was
Yeah.
that it wasn't a woman. Someone said it was a pet bear and they'd shaved it. That's what that's what
Was
I've
this
heard
someone?
since.
Was this someone you saw? Or
No,
did you
no,
just read about
this is going back.
This is years ago.
This is years and years ago.
Yeah.
When there was loads of like weird looking people. I mean, the fact that it's pig-faced woman of Manchester Square
Yeah.
says that there might have been one in
Piccadilly Circus?
yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
so
in
there was
every
a lot
square.
more of them knocking about back then.
Let's assume that it was a woman, and the first one, the Lighthouse fellow, he's a human. Do you think people would object because of their disfigurement, deformity, a bit like being called freaks?
Today? Of course.
Well, it gave them a purpose back then. See, if you were a freak years ago,
Yeah, but right now?
there was work for you. You'd have these circus things. Now, if you've got a funny head, you're on the dole.
Number 3?
What about Elephant Man?
Right.
Stick him at number 3.
Elephant Man.
He's surely the most famous freak ever to have lived, isn't he?
He's the one who got me into it.
Right. Yeah, sure. He's sort of entry-level freak.
Yeah.
A gateway freak.
Everyone is aware of him.
If the Elephant Man still existed, right, and you got the opportunity to meet him, and you walked in, a couple of questions. 1, what would your first reaction be? And 2, what would you say to him? What would your first question be?
How would I react? Well, I've sort of seen him enough now that it wouldn't shock me. So I don't even think I'd flinch.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, when I first saw you, that was a bit weird. But now, look, I can look at you. I don't double take or anything. What would I say to him, though? I'd probably say, where do you get that at to fit you? You always had that one. Where do you get that from?
Incredible question to ask.
That sort of flat cap that he's got.
Yeah, that one, didn't he? So,
Oh,
I'd have
man.
him. So he's at number 3.
Wow. Wow,
Elephant Man,
wow.
number 3. I can't wait for
Blimey,
2 and
yeah.
1. Right, okay, number
Well, I know
2.
what my number 1 is. It's just number 2 now. I don't
Okay.
know his name, but there's a fella knocking about. Well, I don't think he's around anymore. But he had like a normal body. Looking at him, you'd go, "What's up with him? He's not a freak." Takes his undies off. Got 2 knobs.
Right.
Wow.
Man with 2 knobs.
Oh, wait, there's nowhere
Yeah.
to start.
I
Do you
don't
think
know.
he uses them alternately, like have a wee out of this one, have a wee out of that one, or does he just like spread the load so he's weeing out of both?
I don't think he knows.
What
I
do you
think
mean he
it's sort of
doesn't know?
like a lucky dip. When he goes to a urinal,
Yeah.
he can have a little bet with himself. He's just like, I don't know what's going to happen here.
So do you reckon he holds them
Holds
both
them
out?
definitely.
So he takes his trousers down because I mean, you know,
Yeah, you can't use a Y front.
right?
It'd be,
Need more like a W front.
Yeah. So he pops his pecs down there.
I don't think it's that much of a problem. It's not like.
Wow. I don't know.
I'd prefer that than Elephant Man's head.
Well, of course you would.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
What if you had Elephant Man's knob?
Yeah, but it didn't work like that, did it? That's the thing. They said he had the body of an elephant, but that's the only thing that wasn't of an elephant standard. His knob was normal. Whereas with this fella, it's the other way around.
How does he know?
Everything normal. Take the pants off. Oh, well, what's going on here?
But why would you ever take his pants off?
No, I wouldn't. I'm just saying if...
But why? I don't know why you'd be in a situation with this man with 2 knobs standing there with his pants on, and you go pop your pants off. You're not a doctor.
No, I say if I'm waiting in a cubicle and he's there.
For what?
Sorry, you're waiting in the queue and he
I'm
comes
waiting
in.
I'm waiting to have a wee at a cubicle.
Oh,
He's
in the
taking 2
toilet.
urinals up and going,
Right.
hang on, you don't need them both, do you? He goes, well, actually,
Oh, and
have
then
a look at this.
right.
He's got 2 knobs.
See, I didn't see him at 2 urinals. I saw him at 1, maybe them pointing
Exactly.
inwards.
If you had that, and say the first time that you met Suzanne, would you mention that straight up?
Would you say, right, before this goes any further, I've got something to show you?
Well, let's see. Tell me exactly what you would say.
You had normal head then, didn't you?
I had the same head, yeah.
Yeah, but it had, like, hair coming out of it, didn't it? And sort of like...
Yeah, but she also had a smaller arse back then as well, so I think we've both been dumb.
Anyway, we need to get to number one.
Yeah, number one.
Okay,
it's Pillow Man.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, man.
Okay, now explain for those that don't know.
Who's
who
that?
he is.
He's a fella with no arms and legs, just a head and a little body. Nickname Pillow Man.
Why is he
Wow,
your
they
favourite?
called him that?
Just because he's amazing. Just the way he just got on with his life. He used to light a cig, just using his lips and his tongue and that.
Oh, I've
And
seen
not
this.
fully
It's
lit. He'd buy like Roll Your Own.
yeah, it's in the film Freaks, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he
He had a
rolls
shave
it.
as well.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
How did he
Do you
have a
think
shave?
he used to do it? He used to get it in his mouth, and I don't know.
Jesus.
It's amazing. Did he have a knob?
I think he did. He had some kids.
What?
Yeah, he had kids. He was an all right looking fella. He wasn't odd looking. It's just that
Sorry?
he looked like Samuel L. Jackson. Imagine him with no arms and legs.
Wow.
Right, that's odd though, isn't it? Really?
It's weird, but you've got to give it to him. You know, I mean, he's there rolling his own. He's pretty cool looking.
I just want to say to people, it's no. You say it looks cool, to, with no arms and no legs to smoke, but don't forget that smoking can stunt your growth.
Yeah, but yeah, remember he was on like this circus freak show thing with
Yeah.
like a bearded woman,
Yeah.
right? Which isn't really a freak, is it? She could have had a shave. Have a shave, you're not a freak anymore.
Yeah.
A bearded woman compared to a fella who's got no arms and legs. A bearded woman, get out. But there was
out.
like a fella with no bottom half to his body, called Johnny Eck was his name. So when you're knocking about with that crowd, you're gonna get a bit. You're gonna get a bit. So yeah, he had kids and they were all normal kids. They had all the limbs.
Did his
and
wife
everything.
had arms and legs?
Never saw his wife.
Never saw his wife.
I think
He was probably ashamed of her. She was a bit of a freak.
for someone like him, you'd think he'd just give up, wouldn't you? You think, forget it. What sort of life is it?
Yeah.
I'm like a Mexican jumping bean. It's not worth living. But he just got on with it. To have a shave, I don't even
Like a
bother having
jumping
shave
bean.
some days.
No. Nor did the bearded lady. Lazy fucking bitch.
So that's why I've put him at my number one position. It's just amazing, isn't it? The human, how whatever you dealt, some people just get on with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Pillow Man,
Yeah.
or Draft Excluder, as I prefer
All right.
to call him.
Right.
There you go. Oh.
Okay, so now what do we have?
Now, me and Steve are a couple of big shots. We do this for a laugh, but this is Carl Pilkington's only source of income. This is what you do now, isn't it?
This is my full-time job. Yeah,
What do you think of that? Is
it
this
impresses me.
Why?
This isn't what I ever wanted. Because I haven't got a purpose, have I? I'm sat here talking about the Pillow Man. If it weren't for him, I'd have nothing to say. It just depresses me. That I just wish I had a job where I felt like I was needed. And I don't feel needed. It's not a proper job.
We need you.
We need you.
We need
but-
you for money
Yeah,
for a rope.
I know, but this isn't. I wanted something that when you die and that, it's you get up to the gates, whatever, and they say, "What have you done?" And then I'm looking worried, thinking, "Is the Pillow Man about?"
This was a very interesting way to end the first season, because I believe, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I believe that this is the first time that you could listen to Carl and he was actually talking about a topic that I don't know, I got the vibes that he felt passionate about. Like, he knew everything that he was talking about. He could explain, he could, I don't know, it's really interesting to think about why he was fascinated with this topic, though it's a really interesting one if you think about it, because you see all these types of limitations that you would think would be limitations, but these people, they just push through it. And I know it's a very complicated topic, so yeah, Carl he seemed more interesting than funny to me in this episode. Though that last line in the episode was the Pillow Man about. It's like that was a great way of ending it. And about him needing or wanting to feel needed, I can totally understand that. And maybe he he didn't see it that way. He was needed. He's the soul of the show right now. But maybe he didn't see it that way because he felt it was just banter between a couple of friends and that was it. I know what he means, and I can totally understand the way that one wants to feel needed and fulfilled with the things that you're doing at the moment. I really understand that, and I'm in a moment in my life that listening to that, it just hits kind of different. It really does. I'm gonna be leaving the video there for today. Remember, as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Remember notification bell so that you receive alerts every time a new video pops up. And that's gonna be all. Have a good one.